I think it's really important to give you guys a voice because I don't think, it seems like a lot of my friends that don't have small businesses, they all think that they're listening to the news and it's like, oh, they've all been kind of taken care of.
Oh yeah.
And so I just wonder from your perspective if you could just elaborate on what this whole road has been like for you. Because this is what, your fifth year in business for the gym?
Yeah, fifth or sixth.
Okay.
We started January 2014,
Okay.
so like we're coming into a little bit longer there on six coming into seven. It's been terrible for everybody, and I think that you hit the nail on the head when you said that everybody has this idea that small businesses are being taken care of because we all logged into the talking heads, since March 13th, Friday the 13th, and watched everything just kind of unravel and
Yeah.
fall down on top of everybody. So I think the first misconception is that everybody all of a sudden got like a payout, giving them a loan that is a reduced interest rate or
Yeah.
maybe some
Thanks.
forgiveness. Like,
Yeah.
thanks for allowing us to go in debt because you forced foreclosure.
Yeah.
And everybody kind of panicked at first because we didn't know what we were dealing with, and everybody rightfully so did the right thing and shut down. And I'm kind of proud of our province for implementing a strategy and then for people for following suit. However, it's not been easy. Even the relief that they've offered for people, it's just like Kent, right? Like I was just too much or too little,
Yeah,
and
it's this
all of
little
these
like
different
gray
parts.
area that you have to kind of fall in, and even that, I think we've had mutual friends that it sounds like you basically have to be declaring bankruptcy
Right.
to
Yeah.
get any quote unquote relief, which kind of defeats the purpose, isn't it?
And if you're already at that point where you're close to declaring bankruptcy after having a little bit of time off, then it's like you're probably stretched out. And so then if you're stretched out, what's getting more debt going to help you with other than,
Yeah,
prolong the inevitable? But the COVID situation has been rough. As a gym owner, it's been rough. As a dad, it's been rough. As a school teacher during the day, it's been rough. Like every avenue of my existence since that 13th of March has been rough, and everyone's kind of, like I always say, or lately I've said, it's like we're just juggling chainsaws and they're on fire,
yeah.
and I'm on fire, and everything's on fire. So it's just
Which ironically enough was the last thing you had to go through to earn your black belt in karate was juggling
absolutely,
fire blazing chainsaws. Which is why Steve only has one arm right now, guys. For people listening
absolutely.
at home, no, I'm just kidding.
Well, that's yeah. The karate misconceptions are fun too, but like the juggling chainsaws, that's new. I haven't heard it, but at the same time, honestly, COVID has not been it's not been favorable, and it's been frustrating as a gym owner to watch other people who I know and respect in the industry have issue. Like even people that I follow on social media that who lost a gym, like Kyotera lost his gym,
Yep.
and Gary Tonin, he had a situation come up with his gym in New Jersey, and now all of a sudden they're kind of left high and dry. So
Right.
you're looking at guys who you follow and are like, oh wow, look at how successful they are in this industry, and yet based on their situation and where they are geographically, things are kind of even imploding on them. So
Yeah.
just being able to say, like, if you're still running right now and running classes right now and you're in the game, like all the power to you. You've got my respect because that you've made some sacrifices and you've come out on top.
One of the things that I was really impressed with, going through all this nonsense with COVID is just to me, you kind of emerged as sort of like a bit of a leader in my eyes. Like, I feel like you started to connect with other gyms, but you just stayed so dedicated to your students. And I remember teaching, like seeing you teaching Zoom classes constantly. And I mean, just talk to me a bit more about that experience. Like, you reflect on opening this gym and all the hard work you've put into it. Talk to me a bit about that experience of just trying to keep it going through this crazy situation with things like Zoom classes and how that's been.
So for me, I was already feeling like extremely kind of exhausted from the whole approach. When COVID happened, it was like, oh crap. And in a week, we had to get creative fast and decide like what we were going to do. I just happened to be in like a lot of martial arts networks on social media, but more importantly, in our karate association, there's two or three guys that run gyms um, in the Rhode Island area who were like, okay, this is what I'm going to do. And
Right.
he had kind of a template already put together of being like, we're going to go Zoom, we're going to keep people moving, keep people busy until we can figure things out. And I just said, well, at this point, I already kind of spoke about, like, you put a lot of your own time and money and effort into something. Are you just going to let, the economy kind of dictate how you're going to run it? Or are you going to, if this is going to be the Titanic ship, are we just going to keep playing like the musicians on the deck? So
Yeah.
I said, all right, well, if this is how it's going to go down, I'm going to go down swinging, and I'm going to just keep teaching class. One week I was doing about 30, I taught 35 hours of just martial arts online, plus the teaching that I needed to do of day school online, plus giving my kids their education during the day for day school online, and watching my wife's kind of world implode, because she lost her job and had to get another one, and yeah, literally juggling chainsaws on fire.